Hello, welcome to all you Cancerians. Welcome for your monthly horoscope for Cancer for February 2016. Now, what is going on in February? February is a month, it's a kind of an in-between month. And that doesn't mean to say nothing will happen, but it means that the big astrological constellations are happening in other months. Like in March, there's the eclipses, there's other things going on with Jupiter, with Saturn, and so on. But now it's that in between. It's the silence before the storm, you could say. But I think for you, it's not a bad storm. I mean, on the contrary, there's some great things going on in your fifth house, which I will be talking in a minute. I am going to do this monthly horoscopes. The thing that I want to do different here, this is, the black and white is because of the lightning. I have so bad lightning and I must do something about it. I know. But what I'm trying to do now in those monthly horoscopes is make a bit of a broader perspective. So because, of course, I will be focusing on February, but the meaning, I think it's a bit of my Sagittarius rising that comes in here, that wants to take things a bit broader, what's happening around the rest of the year. And if you see that bigger perspective, then you know why things are happening now the way they are happening. For instance, the big thing that I want to talk about is Mars in Scorpio. You can see Mars in Scorpio. Oh yes, Mars is in Scorpio in February. Point. That means this and that. That's it. But it's so important if you see it in the whole year, because Mars is usually 6 weeks to 2 months in one sign. It has been in Scorpio as from January, and it's still the whole month in Scorpio in February. But then it goes into Sagittarius and it goes back into Scorpio at the end of May up until the beginning of August. So this is a sign here that is good to know in February already, because it shows that whatever your intention is now, whatever you are doing now, you're going to revisit that later on. So it's good to know, because you might be frustrated if things are not working out in that area of your life that I will be talking about in a minute. Because this shows that the energy of Mars in Scorpio needs a bit more time. A retrograde, you can see it in a negative way, you can see it in a positive way. A negative way is things are not going forwards, things are not the way that I want it. That's the negative way. The positive way is that if you go with the flow, in other words, if you go with the waves of Mars, which means being a bit more slowly, going a bit more deeper, certainly with Mars in Scorpio, it means that you will get the rewards when Mars goes direct in that sign. And that will be, around August time, a lot of people will see that, that's why things went so slowly in February. So whatever you are trying to launch now, when it comes to the fifth house issues, take your time. Don't rush into it. Go deep. Scorpio, it's a fellow water sign. So that's why this Mars retrograde is not bad for you, Cancerians. It's Scorpio. It goes deep. It wants to commit. It wants to put those teeth into it. And it's together with, who knows, still the asteroid of commitment as well. So a double whammy here of a super commitment, super going deep with your intentions, because that is Mars in the fifth house. What is the fifth house? It can be a creative project. It can be a new business. Now, isn't that beautiful? One earring and one that fell out. Now, maybe you will make your own jewelry. Some of you, the fifth house being very creative, and take your time to do so. Maybe you are going to start a hobby that you once loved very much as a child, and you're going to do it again. You're going to delve into that hobby again, and you will make readjustments around at the end of May up until August. So it's very interesting for you Cancerians, because it has to do with your creativity, and I think that Cancerians are tremendously creative when they can put their hearts into it, which is again the fifth house. But when you can put your the nurturing side of Cancerians. You know, if you do things out of because you want to support others, because you want to nurture something, even your own project, you know, your business, your own business can be your own kind of baby, you could say. This is the time to do so. This is the time to plan, to be strategic, to plan that all. For other people, it has to do with children, it has to do with, but very, very in general, it has to do with your heart chakra. It has to do with what do you want to do? What is the new thing in 2016? Not the new thing, but what is something that you liked when you were younger, maybe, even when you were a child, that you want to implement in your life again, that gives you great passion, Scorpio. And that actually you're very talented around. Pick that up again. Even if it's just a hobby, it doesn't matter. Pick it up again. And you will see that you may go not a step like this forward, but a step like that around the second half of the year. Maybe it's going to give you more than you ever dreamed of. But the thing is to not rush into it with this energy. Trying out new things, you know, Mars and Scorpio can also be very sexual. You know, maybe it's about a relationship for you. Maybe you just entered a new relationship, or there's someone that you have an eye on. The Mars and Scorpio can make you very passionate, you know, not only on a sexual level, but just on a very creative level in general. Feeling very passionate for that person. And but again, same thing, take it slow. Take it slow, take your time. That's the Scorpio. And so very interesting energy for you Cancerians. Very interesting to launch. I think we are all up to launching something new. A new intention. Mars is intention, and it's good to stand still with a very important intention. And I think you will be doing that. Now, what else? There is also activity in your 8th house. So there was a lot of activity in your 7th house of relationships in January. So probably there were a lot of truth coming out for better or for worse when it comes to relationships. Now, this is all dealt with, and now it shifts into your 8th house. Venus is going in there. The Sun is going in there, especially the last weeks of the month, around the 18th, I think it's Venus there. So there will be a lot of activity inwards. Again, a good time for intimacy, a good time to put your mask off to that one particular person that you love and that you share your life with. And so that is good. But on a very, not on a level I'm going to lose myself. No, this is Aquarius energy. Also on a level of, you know what's happening and you're dealing with that. So a lot of energy in the 8th house also shows that you're transforming on a very deep psychological level as well. So it's a kind of deep month anyway for you Cancerians, but I think you will do well. Now on the 8th, there is already new beginning in that 8th house, in the 8th house, because there's a new moon there for you in Aquarius. So there is some parts of you that die, and that makes space for new energy coming in. Can be one way. It can also mean that you're going to be way more interested into the metaphysical side of life. It can also mean that you are encountering yourself on a deeper level. You have made an end with a certain anxiety that you had, or battling with something, and it's, you're starting fresh. So that kind of energy. And the full moon will be on the 22nd in Virgo. That is your 3rd house. So that's more on a... So there's culmination there when it comes to your communications, maybe with siblings or maybe with your environment. It's a good time to maybe invite neighbors into your home, or invite the environment into your home. I don't know what that would be, but it's a good time to get social around that time, around this 22nd, or to do a talk, or to communicate something through the internet. It's a good time to launch something. Something culminates there. It's a good time to launch a website around that time. Virgo, analytical, being detailed, and also. So I think it's a very good in-between month for you Cancerians if you go with the flow, and you are a water sign, so take that direction, that intention, stand still with your intention. What does your heart want? And try to align it with the head, because that's not always easy, is it? Have a very good month, you Cancerians. Thank you for spreading these videos, and see you next month. Bye-bye.